Yo, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the morning market report. It is now Monday, April 7th. The market's opening a little bit in the red this morning, but Bitcoin did get a little bounce here off my platinum pocket, getting a little move to the upside. You take a look at the oscillator down here. We did get a nice little True 7 fire off, little turn of the ribbon there. Moving to the upside, guys. I'm watching this level right here that we're currently getting rejection at. That is your 300-day simple moving average. And you guys can see the little purple block right there. That is yesterday's daily close. This was the level that I've been watching for to see if we got a rejection off of this on a move up. We do have a CME gap. Taking a look here at the crypto bubbles, guys. We got a nice little mixture of some red, mostly red with some green on the daily. But if we take a look at the hourly, guys, looks like we're trying to get a little turnaround. We might get a bounce up. I'm watching that CME gap. I'm watching that 300-day. We're going to break it all down. What does it mean for you and your portfolio today, guys? Let's get it. You guys know what time it is. Class is in session. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Morning Market Report. I am Ari Piper, and this is the Piper Academy Network. And we break down the economy, the headlines, the macro data that you need to have knowledge because knowledge is profit. Let's go ahead and bring up my co-host here today, the man, the myth, the legend. It is the OC guy. What is up, dude? How you doing today, man?
I'm doing fantastic. Seems like today I just wake up to the pump. Was not able to grab that movement. Although I'm also pretty sad because today my beverage got divorced. I have orange juice for one side and coffee for another. They're not mixing today.
You got to keep them separated. Yep, got it. I like it. I'm down with it, man. So yeah, you also woke up late and missed the DCA this morning for the Piper plan for Bitcoin too, and so you missed that low level there. What was that level this morning? Let's see here. It was about $76,000 was the level this morning on the DCA where I got mine. You slept a little late, but I think it's going to go back down there. I think you'll be able to wait and get it even lower. We do have some economic data this week that I'm going to be going over here in a minute, guys. And that is the stuff that I am watching hard this week. There is rumor of a reported meeting between a reported meeting with the Federal Reserve, an emergency behind closed door meeting. So I don't know if we're going to see if that's actually a thing or not. I'm actually seeing some reporting that that the meeting was not an emergency meeting per se for cutting rates. It was their regularly scheduled closed door meeting that they have twice a month anyways. It was scheduled on April 3rd. So it doesn't look like it's an emergency. It's just a closed door meeting. So we're going to be taking a look at that too. 3 times, baby. 3x, baby. Crypto trade said you're right, bro. Let's go give a shout out to the chat right now. Guys, let's go see. Good morning, all familiar. I've got crypto coin mindset in here. What's up, Keith? How you doing today, bro? Alexandra G, the mod queen in the house with us. LBC, Lunar Beaches last night, talking about the market sell-off, guys. It's not just so you guys know, because we get this tunnel vision in America, especially where we go, this is the level right here, and I'm just looking at this, only this. And yes, we get tunnel vision badly here. Put the blinders on. Global markets are collapsing right now. It's not just the United States, guys. Japan's market dumping, Taiwan market dumping, Europe markets dumping, China's market dumping. Matter of fact, yesterday Taiwan and I believe Japan both triggered their circuit breaker. We'll talk a little bit more about what that is in a bit. If you guys do not know, I'll explain it to you. What's up there, 2Dub? Dinger Glock in the house. Harp is in here with us. We got Jesse. Get lucky. Uncle Jesse's in the house. Eric, Ballin' Wallin'. Piper, you gonna make a hat that says Piper was right about everything? Nah. I'm gonna my wife and I discussed this. We're gonna hold some humility. And we're going to be classy about it, okay? And we're going to go to Bitcoin conference. No, I'm not going to walk around like Crypto Trade said, swinging my thing. Just we're going to maintain humility, guys, because remember, there's a lot of people in the space that did not heed the warnings, did not tune into Piper Academy, and are probably pretty wrecked right now. So we don't want to pour any salt on the wounds. I want to help people heal and help them get prepared for the next move, not talk about what they missed on the last move. So that is the plan, Eric Ball and Wallen. What else we got here, man? Little Fish is in the house with us. Awesome. Appreciate you being here. Fart Karn is back. Yeah, it is. That's what those little movers, man. That's why I said you can make money in this market, whether it's going up or down. You just got to trade it right. And for all of that, I highly recommend either being in our Discord group, JR over there dropping some bomb trades, or tune in every morning to Alex O Crypto. Because he's always over there banging out the trades every morning. I watch him every morning. What's up, 30? How you doing, man? Appreciate seeing you here. You have a membership now. You picked up a membership. I saw last week someone gifted some memberships, and you got picked up. So welcome to the alumni. Who else we got here? Donato Cabrera. Awesome. Cool. OC, let's go ahead and get into the market look here and stuff. I want to talk about Bitcoin real fast, and then I want to get into the actual news. Let's go get it over there. Looking here, guys, we are OC. I told you I should have shorted that right there. Look at this, man. Come on. I told OC I was going to short this, and he's like, I don't know if I would do it. So yeah, look here, guys. We do have this nice level here, right at the daily. That's the 78,370 here. No, Buck, I did not say I told you so yet. Matter of fact, if you back up about 30 seconds, you'll hear what I said. So we don't play that game. We hold humility and we help lift people up. That's what we do. But yeah, I was talking about doing a short here, and OC was like, I don't know that I'd do that yet because we're watching that CME gap too. And so that's probably a good call. We do have a nice rejection here, though, on the 300-day simple moving average. This was our previous support, guys. And now that we have broken that, I said if we broke that, it would be the 786 level to watch. That's where we are now. Of course, you guys know that ultimately my two targets are between $63,000 to $67,000 Bitcoin. And if we do not hold that, we're looking at 51. I'll show you guys all of those in a minute. Let's go talk about the CME gap. Got to talk about that. I want to see that CME gap. Let's close, save and close. There we go. And then I need to reopen that chart because it was not giving me any of my stuff. TradingView being very weird today. Everybody hitting the markets all at the same time and turning on TradingView. And TradingView said, I don't like any of you. So it's loading. It's loading all of my charts over here. Do you see this? It's horrible. I may just have to go in this way. We'll do BTC1. BTC1. BTC exclamation. What is it, OC? It's BTC1, right? Yeah. I'm on all. Yeah, I need to hit all. Yep. Let's go over here. Let's check this chart out. It's still not going. I don't know what's going on with TradingView, man. I may have to restart TradingView. OC, let's kick it over to you real fast. Take a look at if you can pull up CME BTC1 on the daily and see if you can get that pulled up for the people, man.
Absolutely. Let me just look for those really quick. This is it. So BTC1, there we go. We have a CME gap being built all the way up here from 84,325 all the way. Look at that. All the way back down here at 79,505. Something important that we're seeing right now, it is look at the allocations here, right? I mean, this is the liquidation chart review or the liquidations indicated by Chart Prime, if you know what we're looking at. And we'll see, or we are seeing how people are real time allocating their shorts in here or their positions, right? Not really a allocation of shorts. This is actually where they're going to be getting liquidated. But we're seeing that what happens here that they shorted and now we're going back up. Something important to note, it is once we get liquidation from here, we will have all already going halfway through the CME gap. So maybe we can just break it all the way up in here. In fact, that's exactly what I'm expecting. Let me show you something interesting here. On my BTC from Bitstamp, we have a couple of drawings. Make sure you prepare because I'm about to serve you some spaghetti, guys. All right, so let me turn on my my drawings here, and I want you guys to notice this line right here. We've been looking at that line, right? Look at that. That is a very important support and resistance. That is a very important trend line, right? What happened here, we are breaking through, or we broke through, right? So the logic thing will be telling us, well, what I always drill your minds with, right? It's not about the breakout, it's about your retest, and then off we go, especially since we were, well, very bearish, right? And we also were at that moment below the zero line. Let me draw here my zero line very quickly. There we go, almost exactly. So there we go, much better. So there we go, having my zero line right there and locked. And what would we be thinking? Well, a rejection out of this, right? But also, guys, do not forget what are we expecting. Let me go back to another chart in here, and let me give you. There we go. Let me just zoom out on daily. All right. Let's just wait for a second for there you go, trading view, and this is what we're expecting, right? So a Wyckoff, what's this? A Wyckoff pattern, right? Usually coming back down, we have a range, and then we have the V-shaped recovery, and we look for that 70% chances of ranging, and then finally, when we're ready, trying to start making the first breakouts, right? I was thinking that we maybe will be having some of it this weekend, but we just teased with it because we were below the dynamic reactor. But at this point, look at the absorption zone, right? I mean, this is not at the end of it, but when we start having that kind of absorption, what can we see? Well, then we usually see some reversal patterns, right? Not complete reversals, but reversals that are worth taking a look at. So what is the next trend line? Well, we have a resistance, 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 enough to draw a trend line. And there we go. We could be looking at somewhere around at this point, back at where we were, 83,842. If we go back to BTC1, well, then let me zoom in. We're going to be, or most likely, we could be looking for, let me draw that same trend line here, for a closure of that. Where is it? There we go. Much better, I would say, like this, for not only a closure of that CME gap, but also for a possible rejection out of the dynamic reactor. Another thing that we've been talking about here for this analysis is not only the megaphone, right? But also the parity with the range that we're expecting here before we see the light at the end of the tunnel. Remember that I've been talking about that from since 2 weeks ago, which is just following 2021 cycle at those areas, right? So basically looking at this, all right, coming back to where we at. Well, then look at this. This is a V-shaped recovery, out of range, right? Out of range, out of range. What are we having? Maybe if we're lucky enough, a right here, not only a V-shaped recovery, but let me go to the 4 hours. We'll see it much easier and cleaner. There we go. A spring, right? If you don't know what a spring is, let me refresh your memory very quickly. That is part of the Wyckoff method, all right? Let me just make sure that I don't blind you with a white background, all right? Seems like we are okay, ready to go. And you'll see that I love the charts because this kind of like plays out very, very nicely. Coming down, V-shaped recovery. And then when we're getting ready to break out, we usually have the spring, which is lower than our V-shaped recovery and lower of our outer ranging here, all right? Just make sure that you understand that this is not 100% guarantee. But remember what we also talked about. If we have a range or any pattern whatsoever, if we start breaking or closing back inside the pattern, even if we have a fake out, we're breaking and closing back inside the pattern, that is a very high possibility that we go visit the top of the pattern. Not for a breakout, a complete change of direction, but go visit the top or the other side of that range, right? So once again, where is our range? Let's just wrap this up, right? This is our bigger range. And if we start closing back in, most likely we're going to go visiting top of that range, which would be, once again, that very important median of the megaphone that we just broke. We still need to break through that megaphone line, but so far, this big AF candle, right, is telling us that we are going through for a closure. So basically, it's a confirmation breakout, right? So remember, big body candles going through support or resistance, confirmation of breakout. So that's what I got, Piper. Take over whenever you are ready.
Awesome. Shout out to the Otter Gang joining us here. Otter Gang. Over here. Otter Gang joining us here in the house. Shout out to all you guys. Alex Crypto, we appreciate you much, bro. Guys, if you haven't gotten your Otter Gang OG swag gear, drip threads, whatever you want to call it, go check out the website. I picked up the polo shirt, t-shirt, the hoodie with the fam on the back that you just saw in that image there, and a coffee mug. So I'll be drinking my coffee brought to you by the Otter Gang every morning. I'll just tell everybody I'm drinking otter piss. This is what we do every morning now. Which is what I imagine coffee and orange juice tastes like, by the way, OC. Otter piss. Let's go get over into the news, guys, and see what we got over here. Let's look at this. This is the Fear and Greed Index. It's the market cap, everything from Into the Cryptoverse. I use this for a lot of stuff. It's a really, really good site. Guys, let's go take a look at what we're seeing right now on the crypto market cap total. Right now, we're currently at $2.526 trillion. The trend median for the total crypto market is $3.676 trillion. So we are currently undervalued 31.29%. Okay. Bitcoin valuation, this is the total crypto market, but Bitcoin greatly undervalued right now in its median, considering that it's a majority of the market. How much of the market is it? Well, it is 62.27% with stable coins right now for dominance. Without stables, it's sitting at 68.57, getting a decent spread there. A lot of money going into stable coins right now, guys. With good reason. Take a look down here. Let's go and check out the Fear and Greed Index. Fear and Greed Index currently not sitting anywhere in the ballpark of what we've seen on the stock market lately, but Fear and Greed right now sitting at 23. We are in extreme fear. Last Friday, the stock market hit 4, guys. 4. They do not know. They don't know how to manage dumps in the TradFi world like we do in the crypto space. So yeah, we are sitting at 23 right now, though, currently for Bitcoin. Let's go and check out the heat map here. I want to talk about these liquidations, guys. In the past 24 hours, 470,113 traders got liquidated for a grand total of about 1.52 billion with a B, as in Bitcoin, $1.52 billion in liquidations. Largest single liquidation was a Bitcoin swap for USDT on OKX. Nothing much, $7 million. What is that? 90-day pause talked about from Trump. 90-day pause on the tariffs. Is that what you're talking about while they negotiate? That would explain why we're getting a little move to the upside and why we continue to DCA, guys. You never know. One tweet can change it all. Let's take a look here. Just looking at the Bitcoin liquidations, it was $414 million in longs, $125 million in shorts. That's why it's green, because if it's more longs than shorts that got liquidated, that's what happens. Ethereum. Good Lord. Okay. I want to talk about this. This is the current longs versus shorts on exchanges, guys, across all the exchanges. And if we take a look down here and look at the 24-hour right now, there are currently 52.23% of all trades, all accounts on the exchanges are longs. So we still don't have enough people really thinking we're going down. It's still a majority think that we're going back up, and so they are longing. These are going to be the indicators that I'm watching, really, honestly, guys. When the sentiment flips and we have a majority shorts, then I will expect more of a big pump. Until then, I'm watching closely for the amount of shorts versus longs. It's 52.23 now, 47.7% are short. So we're getting close. We typically run about 50-50. I want to see that 60-40 threshold get broken before I start getting too bullish. But it will be short-lived, that's for sure, because we still have, even though the tariff thing is 90-day pause, we still have the uncertainty of the future, right? And that's really the speculation when everyone talks about crypto and the TradFi, is that speculation of the future. And so we still have that. We still have job numbers. We just came in higher on unemployment. We still have inflationary fears. We still have refinance of $9.2 trillion that needs to take place, so on and so forth. So let's go ahead and get into the crypto bubbles, talk about what we're seeing here. Bitcoin currently at $80,233. It is up 4% on the hourly, down still, though, 2.7% on the daily. You guys, I just want to look here. Let's just take a quick peep here at, let's get that over there. There we go. Let's take a quick look here at what we're looking like on all of these tokens for the daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly. Okay. Bitcoin's still up 15.3% this morning. This hit like 12.7, I believe. Ethereum down 52.7% year over year from 1 year ago. XRP is still up 226%. Tron is still up 91.8. Cardano is still up barely by about 0.5%, little under 0.5%. Leo token still up 54.1. Stellar's still up 83.3. Sui is still up 23. This is very quickly erasing gains that are being made here, guys. So if you got in anytime within the last 12 months on most of your tokens, you are underwater right now. 100K by the end of the month. You heard it here first. Thank me later. Mark Dutch. I told you on Alex No Crypto's channel in the chat, I thought that crack was illegal over there where you are. We'll see, man. We'll see. I would love for that to be the case. I've been DCAing. I'm holding well over a third of Bitcoin already just from my DCA strategy that I started when I sold back in January. So we'll see. Right now, guys, looking at what's moving really good on the daily here right now. Mantra. That's the only thing that is up on the daily, and it's sitting all the way down at number 19. Everything else is red on the daily still, despite this last stock market. And let's take a look here. S&P and NASDAQ now starting to get a rally after opening this morning way to the downside. Refresh here. There we go. Dow Jones is still down about 0.75%. S&P is about flat. It's at 0.03. NASDAQ is up about 0.7%, now 0.8%, getting a little bit of move there in the tech sector. Russell 2K small caps sitting at about 2.56% on the downside, guys. And the VIX is now at 45. This morning, it broke 50. And yesterday, on this weekend, I think it was Saturday maybe, Crypto Millie was on live, and I was in his chat, and I told him that I thought that the VIX was going to hit 80, and it was pretty much laughter across the board from everybody. And then this morning, we break 50, which is much closer to 80 than that sub 20 that we normally run at. So, yeah, it is definitely looking at looking like it's going to be keep going up if we don't get a turnaround on the sentiment of the market. Looking at the economic data here, guys, this week we're going to have fuel and oil. We have nothing really going at all until Wednesday when we get FOMC minutes. That's going to be at 2 p.m. In the afternoon. That is going to be what we're watching there. There's FOMC minutes going to give that detailed information of what was said at the last FOMC. And then core inflation rate month over month is going to be coming in right now, expected to be higher. That would be higher inflation. Core inflation year over year expected to be lower for year over year. Inflation rate month over month expected to be neutral to lower. And then this is without food and energy, obviously. And then inflation rate year over year coming in at 2.8% previously. They're expecting it to be down a little bit. So we might see a little slowdown here of inflation, given that ability for the Federal Reserve to maybe do some cuts coming up. So, yeah, that's what I'm seeing there. Anything else this week? PPI. We're going to get PPI and Michigan consumer sentiment, which is expected to be lower. So some good data this week, potentially some bad data this week. Likely. So we'll go with that. We'll go with that. Let's go over here. I think I talked about the some of this already. Hong Kong stock market closed down over 13%. Oh, yeah, that's what I wanted to show you guys. Let's go back over here. Because we had all those sell-offs, I wanted to show you guys it's not just the U.S. Let's go over to Europe. Let's take a look at the European markets. Come on. Come on, let's go. You can do it. Europe, there we go. Europe, all red across the board on their market when it closed, down anywhere from 3 to 4%. Asia markets, you got everything down there, 4%, 7% in Japan. The Nifty 50 in India down 3.24%. HSI, this is Hong Kong, down 13.2%. And Shanghai down 7.34%. Let's go over and check out gold right now. Gold is up. It's getting some move up, back up today after getting a nice bounce on a support line. Maybe we'll have OC look at gold here in a minute. At $3,051, making a rebound, guys. The one that bothers me on here, you can see gold is up, silver is up, platinum is up, palladium is up. Copper, Just flip green. It was red. Copper. This is an industrial metal. This is a good indicator of the economy strength. And if we're seeing this fighting to stay in the positive, dropping into the red does usually mean that there's a slowdown of manufacturing and construction. So seeing that drop there, not a good thing. And then oil. No bonds. Let's talk about bonds. The 10-year treasury yield bouncing back up, and we know that this needs to go much lower in order to get the refinance of that $9.2 trillion this year on the federal debt line. So very likely going to see a lot of pressure. We've already seen it actually on X, Trump calling for Jerome Powell to cut these rates, please, because that's what I think ultimately all this is for. I think they really want these rates low so they can refinance, so they don't get called on $9.2 trillion to mature and have to pay it out all at once. And if they are able to refinance this, it actually saves them like $600 billion in extra interest payments on top of what we already pay just for refinancing. So I do think that is ultimately the goal. They want this lower. All right, let's go over and check out the liquidation heat map, guys. I've been watching. We had this level here that we came down and we cleaned it out clearly, like it's gone. Um, Looking at the 6 month, I had to go over to the 6 month because you see this level down here. This is coming in about $66,000 to $64,000, guys. The big thing that I've been watching on that chart, let's go over there and check it out, is this line right here of volume. And so looking at that liquidation heat map of that range about 64,000, guys, that would be in this box right here that I have drawn. It is off of this volume node and this volume node on the local fixed range volume profile, and on this big grandma nipple over here on the from November 2022 to current volume, there's this nice little cluster right here, and it's coming in between $67,000 to $63,000. This is the range that I'm watching, that watching closely, that I think we need to hold. If we do come back up here, I do think that we're looking about 86,000 maybe top side, where we reject just like we did here with all the candle closes off of this value area high before sending us down to that point of control. So this is the level that I'm watching there, guys, and it's right there on that heat map that I just showed you. Taking a look there, that level down there, 64 to 66 to 64,000 would fall perfectly in that 67 to 63. So keep an eye on those levels, guys. We're not seeing any turnaround yet. Right now, we're just getting grumblings in the market that are making some things move, but overall, we do have a little bit of further downside, I believe, to go. And maybe that $63,000 range is our big bounce, right? Maybe we'll see. But until then, we just DCA the pipe plan. That's what we're doing. OC. I do have a couple of articles I want to look at, but we don't have very long on the show today. We are going to be going live, a straight redirect from here to Crypto Princess's debut live stream that I'm going to be a guest on. So you guys just stay tuned at the end of this. Just right on over. We're going straight over into Crypto Princess's live stream, and then I'll be over there breaking down a bunch more economic data. But OC, what are you seeing right now on gold? Because we're seeing a little bounce on gold, and I'm pretty sure that where it bounced at was a pretty defined support area. Let's kick it over to you and take a look at that.
Absolutely. Before we jump to gold, guys, just want to bring your attention to the big retracement on Bitcoin. We need to be very, very careful. Seems like if we are going this way, well, the actual liquidity at the bottom, or the absorption zone at the bottom, it is nothing to compare to the absorption zone at the top. Let me just do a quick overview to BTC1. BTC1 is also rejecting. We are not. Yeah.
Hold on. Look at the rejection point, bro.
Yeah, man.
Look at it. Do you see it?
Yeah. Golden pocket.
Straight Perfect. On the golden pocket. Yep. All right, let's go.
So we did not fully close the CME gap, but we keep trying, right? So let's go for gold now. I just wanted to get in your radar that we are rejecting at this point in Bitcoin, right? I have two charts on gold. Let's take a look at those two. So the first thing, it is our next possible entry. What was our next entry? On the rejection right here, breakout, retest, off we go. If we are having the dynamic reactor, which I was predicting to be all the way over here, trading view is a little bit slow today. There we go. We have it. So we're going to be looking for a rejection or a bounce where at the dynamic reactor. Well, my prediction went a little bit later than their actual reaction. So what's happening here? Gold is just taking a little bit of a doozy. Nothing too important, all right? As long as we don't lose a dynamic reactor, we're gonna be okay. If we start losing a dynamic reactor, well then we're gonna be for a little bit of a downtrending here, but that's also gonna be all right. Look at it, how far are we from only these year prices? This is, where is it, 2025? There we go, 2025. This is it. So all the way from 2025 to right now, we have growth of 1586% no leverage on gold. That's big numbers, guys. That is big numbers. Let's take a look at my next chart of gold, which is basically the same thing, but I have different drawings because we were expecting the same movement, but in a possible head and shoulders. Again, let's just wait for it to hold or to load. And there we go. So basically, we left out of this area, possibly coming for a rejection to this other area. Why? Because we have a huge liquidity archie here, or parabola, right? So my favorite word. So what are we looking at this point? Well, then we're looking at the bottom of this triangle for a possible breakout, retest, and off we go. So I don't think that we're gonna get here so far or right now. Why? Because we're having a flip of the ribbon right now, and that is also playing out very closely to the dynamic reactor. Let me just clear this section out for now, and let me start adding my indicators. Let's take a look at here. Previous weekly low, right? The next one we already have hit it. So as long as we don't lose the 2,979 mark, I think we're gonna be bouncing. If we start losing that like this, prepare for the next short entry at this point, because we're most likely are going to be hitting the area that we were talking about between 2,830 and 2,760. But so far, I will say that we're still bullish despite we have a different color candle, and that is because we're still holding the dynamic reactor. But yeah, I mean, pretty good dump that we have also in gold. So if you were looking also for a DCA on gold, this could be your opportunity.
Awesome. OC, we had that 90-day thing that they were talking about in the chat, 90-day Trump considering a 90-day pause in tariffs. I got it up here. Hassett. Trump is considering 90-day pause in tariffs for all countries except China, according to CNBC. And then Walter Bloomberg comes in and says, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, CNBC, no one at the White House is aware of a 90-day pause. So we're getting some whiplash info coming in right now that I want you guys to be aware of. Let's jump over here and talk about this article real fast, and then we'll take a look at what we're seeing. I want to stay up to date on the Bitcoin chart on this news coming in. A well makes a $14 million Ether emergency deposit to avoid a $340 million liquidation. Guys, if Ether's price falls below $1,119 amid growing fears, this position will get a short call. We'll get a liquidation call, I mean. And then also on X, there was another one that I saw. There was a major liquidation on Ethereum. I've got a bunch of stuff in here on X marks the spot today, guys. Float with me. We'll just float. Oh, this one was funny. Buy when there's blood in the streets. So you're buying, right? You're buying now, right? It's just a stare. No, not yet. That was Japan's circuit breaker triggering. Yeah, let's talk about that. So there is in place in the stock world a circuit breaker where if a certain percentage gets hit in a certain amount of time, it will pause trading for 15 minutes. We saw this occur yesterday in Japan. We also saw this occur in Taiwan, almost happened in China. Guys, if it happens here, we have the same thing, the circuit breaker. And typically it just, hey, stop all trades and let people get some logic here and look at this data, because right now we're triggering liquidation sells, sell after sell after sell on the way down. It's the trickle effect, right? Odds of the U.S. recession in 2025 had surged to a new high of 67%, according to Kalshi. So 67% chance of a recession this year. What do you guys think about that one? There's the Taiwan markets trading halted. Circuit break was triggered. And then President Trump says he is not making a deal with China unless it solves the trade deficit. Trump was just asked about the stock market decline and responded, sometimes you have to take medicine. Trump continues to double and triple down on his tariff resolve, guys. So I just wanted to touch on that stuff here. Anything else that I'm seeing in here? Um, Brokerage firms are sending out. Oh yes, so CME Group, brokerage firm, sent out a circuit breaker warning as U.S. stock market futures extend 3-day loss down 15% on that. And so they did say that basically futures markets are coordinating with stock circuit breakers at market 7%, 13%, and 20%. The 7 and 13% circuit breakers are each followed by a 15-minute trading halt. If the 20% level is reached, the market closes trading for the day. Done. Pack it up, go home. We're done for the day, guys. So if it's after 3:25 Eastern Standard Time, the markets will not halt unless that 20% is reached. So we can hit 15% or 13%, 7% drops after 3:25 and it not trigger anything. But if it's a 20% or more, even though it's after that time, they will shut the market down for the day. So guys, be aware. We could see a lot of volatility going into that time period where people are like, I need to get offloaded from what I'm holding right now, but I don't want them to go into a halt because then I can't sell. Got to be a buyer, right? In order to offload. And so they may do it in chunks just enough to make it stay above that level. And then after 3:25, dump the rest of it so that they don't get hit with any halts. But I doubt that we'll see a full day closure because that just stops everything. Even the people that are trying to offload are not going to have any market to play on if that happens. So that is how that all works. I just wanted you guys to be aware on that. And then Crypto Princess in the chat, she is here, guys. We're going to be forwarding over directly, redirecting to her show. It's already set up. I'm looking forward to the maiden voyage of Crypto Princess going live today. I'm proud to be proud and humbled to be a guest on that first show today. So, guys, stay tuned here. OC, we got about 12 minutes or so. What are you seeing on the alt side? Let's go take a look at those charts on the alts and let's get that wrapped in here.
Absolutely. I want to touch first on something that you spoke about at the beginning of the show, which is copper. Why? Because copper, yeah, it's an industrial mineral, it's dumping, but also we're getting into a very old line that we were looking for a re-entry. By the way, just so you know, I was about to just get rid of this line until today. So we're hitting this zone here. If we start seeing money flow reversal, that could be an opportunity to jump back in between that area and also the 398. So keep your eyes peeled before the end of this week. So let's get started with Ethereum, Fidelity Ethereum, hashtag Ethereum. And what are we having? Look at that. Ethereum does not disappoint. Look at that, just going for a very, very nice dip in here on the 4 hours. I was expecting to enter right there on a half of a position. Let me show you my entry point. There we go. Sadly, it did not went to my entry point exactly. Nonetheless, the entry or the idea was a very, very well placed, right? I mean, come on, very close to that entry. Did not cut it. That was fine. I was not around on the weekend to be trading this one. Although based on this trend line, you could have traded a breakout or breakout pullback or retest, and then off we go all the way to the depth of the oceans. Well, then what else for Ethereum? Ethereum, we're on previous weekly lows. Just so you know, I'm feeling encouraged to buy and grab some Ethereum. Despite we kick Ethereum, we kick that dead horse in the ground over and over and over. I think it's getting to a attractive zones for me to start adding to my DCA, especially if we start looking at the daily. Let it just load for a little bit. Let's hope that it loads. Perfect. There we go. And we're getting to an area of interest for me. All right. So double top here, failing back down, maybe hitting some bottoms. I mean, yes, of course, that we can go all the way to 1,174. But for me, this would be an area that I am interested to be grabbing some, especially in the daily. If we close like it's in the indecision candle, and then we have a bullish rejection candle here, I think we're gonna be for a trade for a better price throughout the next week, not this one. So it's maybe somewhere around 2,390, maybe for some of that hopium. But if not, anyways, I'm going to be trying to get some at the end of today. We'll see how that plays out. Let's go to Litecoin very quickly. Litecoin also, I mean, man, this I think we're gonna start to add Fidelity too many coins. Fidelity, Litecoin, sometimes maybe. We're not in entries of areas of entries. Why? Because we have that double bottom. Yes, we have some big rejection in this point. You can take it if you really want to, but you could be trapped in a possible range like we have seen in this area. I mean, it will be a good range though, but I'd rather see either a breakout retest for then a further continuation, or a bouncing here and my second opportunity somewhere around here at 64.50. In fact, I'm going to be adding an alert 64.50 and another alert right in here just if I start breaking through. So it seems like something with my alerts, whatever. I'm just going to be reducing this one for a breakout in here. Oh, I'm doing some. Oh, I see. We are doing some brief daily maintenance. That explains a lot of trading views. So we won't be able to set up some alerts. OM, and let me just wrap it up with that one. Not looking that good, but also not looking that bad, where everybody is just falling, inducing their pants. Well, OM, yes, we have a breakout on that head and shoulders, but we also have almost a rejection on dynamic reactor. I will be waiting for a second bounce right here to the dynamic reactor. I cannot add my freaking alerts, but I will be looking at this area before a possible entry, as I have a higher low on my oscillator, because look at that, we're still pretty bullish. So other than that, let me try it back to you, Piper, to see what you have on the altcoin side.
Yeah, people talking about 401k. We have a member that in our community that he moved all of his 401k, majority of it, into money market accounts. Back when I said it's run for the hills, right? And by my estimation, he's actually saved about $400,000 in losses in his 401k by moving over to money market accounts. So shout out to that individual. Let's take a look at this. I want to talk about this level here, guys, because a lot of people are talking about Black Monday. And if anyone doesn't know what Black Monday is, that's referring to the Monday morning market open that we had back in 1987. Yes, long ago in a galaxy far away, guys. And what they were looking at, what they were talking about was the definitive rhyme rhyme some it doesn't always rhyme, but sometimes it doesn't always repeat, but sometimes it rhymes, I guess they say. Yeah, so this is what they're looking at here, is this level of this, lower highs that occurred, and then this massive drop. But I want to show you guys, this is where we currently are right now, current date right now in the markets. This is what happened after that fall back in 87. It continued on for a long time down. Was that the bottom there? Yep, that was the bottom. So let's go measure from that peak down and see what that was back then, back in the day, which was a Wednesday. That's what Dane Cook says. This ended up coming all the way down about another 28% from that point. Let's go and look at what it would look like right now for a 28% move to the downside on the S&P. 28% would be, good Lord. Yeah, all the way down to like 4,000 points on the stock market. So I just wanted to show you guys that is why you hear everyone talking about Black Monday. Like, where's all this data coming from? But what is Black Monday? Now you know that is what Black Monday is. It's a reference to the stock market crash of 1987, and that is what they are comparing the current market conditions to right now. So, OC. I wanted to talk about this chart real fast. I'll go into this more on Crypto Princess Show, so make sure you tune in. But this is my long-term fib channel for those who know it. Eric Wallen knows this chart. We call it the Wallen chart because he loves it so much. Taking a look at this level here, guys, all the way throughout this entire bull market, I was telling people we're going to bounce here. Why? Because we're not going to break the 786. We're going to bounce here. Why? Because we're not going to break the 786. And this was on everyone's shows, and every show that would bring me on to talk about this, I was talking about it back in the day. Well, folks, question is, Does this go here and start to bounce up and we don't break this, or do we enter into the whole new channel here? I have to say at this point, if status quo stays the way it is on the current markets, we could easily see that our channel shifts down into the platinum pocket here, and we would be looking at levels of like $52,000 on here. Why do I think that is the case? These are weekly candles, by the way. So, this could be, depending on how quickly it goes down to like 47K. This is problematic. And I'll show you why it would be problematic and why I think that we would go down to that level, guys. You see this green line right here at 51,769? This is pretty much the last hope on this volume node from the local fixed range and the 2022 bottom fixed range is this little volume node right here, little tiny nipple right there at that $51,000 line. And that would again put us down all the way into the lower band here, the 0.887 of the platinum pocket. So my stance of that we should never break this kind of changing now as we move forward in time with new information. You just got to take it realistically. The analytical process, I talk about this all the time. When you look at data and you make an assessment, that cycle continues. It doesn't just stop there. We have new data that has come into play on top of regular recessionary fears. And as long as that sentiment stays there, as long as those policies stay there, as long as that fear stays there, very easily could see us breaking that 786 and heading down. If it holds, great. That's why we're dollar cost averaging. That's why we started dollar cost averaging at the beginning of January. When I sold everything, I started DCA immediately. Only in Bitcoin. I am not touching altcoins. When will I be ready to go full blown back in? That will be when my MVP oscillator fires off for me. I'll let you guys know when that happens. There's going to be a whole video on how to get it, how to read it, how to use it, and how to plan with it, how to use that tool to make your bottom entries. And so I will have that coming out. But yeah, guys, until that happens, until I start to see higher highs and higher lows on higher time frame price structure, I have no interest to buy into the market right now, except for Bitcoin. And it's not even my full buy-in power. It is micro buys, as Eric Wallen says, micro buys. So, we got about 2 minutes before Crypto Princess starts. It looks like she's over there. I'm going to give you the last couple of minutes. What do you got for us, man?
Absolutely. Let's go for something that everybody is watching, which is EOS. We need to be very careful because this, despite it being so popular lately, this is a dead project, right? We were looking at this area for a possible bounce at this zone. Remember that I was telling you guys, well, if you really want to jump in, we need, right? So aiming for, but look at that. We rejected. We are creating that downtrend range, right? Just like we were hoping for. And now we're having that rejection point. So what's going to be right now? We need to be careful at this point because we're also having a rejection at the top. We need to wait. All right. So, but despite the waiting that we need to do now, we already have that trend line being built up at the bottom, and this trend line built up at the top. So we have the structure. Now we only need either a flip of money flow, break to the zero line on your oscillator, and you'll be set for your next entry. How will that look like? Breakout, retest, dynamic reactor, off we go. All right. Or breakout, retest, enter for your short, and off we go. There's one more, which was going to be maybe not breaking from where we are right now, which is going to be doing something like that. In that case, look for a bounce slightly below this trend line here, right? The trend line, the dash trend line, onto this support, and that is what we're going to be looking for in moving to the upside if we are above the zero line. So that's what I got on EOS. Just wanted to give the heads up that one because it's a dead project and everybody's kind of like going crazy about it.
Awesome. Appreciate it, bro. That is it, guys. We're getting ready to head over to Crypto Princess. I can see right now on this monitor over here that she is rolling some of her shorts as pre-fill on her thing. So I need to go jump into that live stream and start breaking down the economy and the current market conditions that we're seeing in a great conversation with Crypto Princess. Guys, see you all over there. OC, thanks for joining me today. Don't forget, tune in. Check out OC with OC Trades Live tonight, right here, Monday through Friday on the channel. channel. Also, Markets After Dark and BC Port Corp with the Good Morning Crypto in the Morning. We'll be back at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning breaking down the news, the charts, the markets, and everything that you need to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit. Guys, until next time, trade safe. As always, use some risk management. We'll catch you guys over in Crypto Princess's channel. See you guys there.
I don't know what they keep telling me. I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling out the wheels flow low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, trade flag at the soul train ready. What a line from OCI, from a Mexican spaghetti. Yo, crunch crypto with a deep dive to project dime. And if you like the visual powered by Tar Prime, then you will part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have step, fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling out the wheels flow low. Sound off
to get with them, the ZTS rhythm. Rip it, Alexandra.
Yeah, that's my alumni, you know what I mean.
That was awesome, dude!